All right. Hello. We are here for the finale of Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. I keep wanting to make Lightspeed Rescue 3 words instead of like Lightspeed as 1 word. I don't know
I
why.
think it's probably because when you listen to the theme song, they always go at the end. It's go light, speed, go.
Probably. So how are you guys doing? That was
I'm
a
doing
weird
good.
and really low key way to introduce the show. I'm usually a little bit more amped up than that. I don't know. I'll need to drink this other energy drink, I guess.
Yeah, apparently, Josh, he's falling asleep on us
I'm
over
just
here.
like
This is the finale, Josh.
I'll tell you what. I'll just like put my chair back, like lean back. You guys take over.
The next thing you know.
Honestly, I'm surprised that hasn't happened to me during one of the watch-alongs. Because like those are happening at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just like, I gotta wake up at 9, and then I end up waking up at like noon. I'm like, all right. Except for yesterday morning. So weird story. Well, not really a weird story, but so Thursday night we did the live watch along of the Bad Batch episode 11, and I couldn't get to sleep after that. So like finally around like 3:30 or so, I finally fell asleep. I woke up like maybe an hour and a half-ish later. It was like right before 5 a.m. But I woke up and I looked at my phone to see what time it was, and it's like 5 o'clock, and I'm like, what? Because like I felt like I'd been asleep for a while. Looked at the window, and because of like one of the lights that were outside and the light coming in from the side of my room, like it looked like it was daylight out there, and I was just so confused because I thought I had like slept away the entire day.
That is literally the worst feeling. Yeah.
It took me like a few minutes because like finally I was like, all right, I'm gonna get up, and I got up and I walked to the window. I looked outside. I was like, it's 5 a.m. It's like get back into
I'm
bed.
up now.
It's done. So how about you guys? How are you? How was your week? Anything fun or stupid happened to either of you?
Uh, what was
Both?
no. Week was just fine. Oh, actually, I kind of had the opposite of like the sleep problem on so like Thursday going into Friday, I was just like I was just scrolling through on sci-fi, watching a lot of sci-fi videos on the Sci-Fi Wire about talking about comic book creators and everything. I was just so invested in it. I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I look at the time, I'm like, okay, let me hurry up, shower, and get to bed. I get myself ready, I get to sleep, and then by the time I get in my bed, it's like 1 o'clock, 1:30. I'm in my bed. I'm like, I can't sleep. Then
the worst.
I try to sleep again, 2 o'clock. I still can't sleep. I'm just like, why can't I sleep? So I just go on my phone, just continue watching these sci-fi videos, and then after that, I'm just trying to go back to sleep, and I still can't sleep. And I'm like, you know what? I'm up. Might as well just watch this Bad Batch episode right now and get it over with. And then it's 5 o'clock comes. I still can't sleep. And so by the time I get down here on Friday, um, just to do some things, I'm sitting, and then I'm just like, oh no. I was like, oh great, the drowsiness is hitting me. I can't do it. I can't do it. So once the work hours were done, I went back into my bed at like 4:15, slept. I'm like, okay, I think I'm good. I'm good. I woke up at 8. I'm like, I'm good.
That's the worst, is like when your sleep schedule just gets like really out of whack, because like you end up falling asleep at like 6:30 in the morning, and then you wake up at 3 in the afternoon, and then you're up late again that night, and it just keeps moving up and
It really,
up and
it
up.
really sucks. But
Yeah.
the crazy thing is, because during this pandemic, like I just started taking like mid-afternoon naps. I just find them so relaxing. And then by the time it's time for me to really go to sleep, I'm not tired.
For me, like I end up doing like when I go out on the road for like some of the shows that I work on, where I'm working on set. I get tapped to do like overnights. Since I do media management, they'll shoot all day, then they'll bring me the footage, and then overnight I ingest it so that I can send it out the next day to go back to the post production department. And when that happens to me, I end up like napping in between like downloading the footage, because while it's downloading, there's really nothing for me to do. Like I fill out a log, and then that's it. I'm just kind of like sitting there watching, like watching the progress bar, like when you're trying to download something.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, I'm doing like 4 or 5 of these at a time, so it's gonna take like 2 hours for this to dump before I can move on to the next set of cards. So I'm just gonna go take a nap, and then like I just find myself like sleeping like 2 hours at a time instead of like an actual full night of sleep, and then it takes so long to get like knocked out of that. It
sucks.
It's rough.
Really.
Yeah. So let's jump into the chat here and see who's with us. We got Jared Hodges joining us in the chat. Ian Klingler. Bryce, do you know who that is?
No, never heard of him. That's weird.
That's so weird. Matthew Thompson and Blackwing. How are you in the chat? You're like you're like right there.
I'm monitoring the chat.
That's weird. So speaking of Ian, Blackwing, Ian and I will be doing the Retro Sentai wrap up at our new time slot following this show here. So we are now on Saturdays.
Is that starting today?
Yeah, starting today. Following the Retro Ranger wrap up. So after this is done, if you want to stick around for some Retro Sentai, we're talking about the sequel manga to Children's Sentai Jetman. So be sure to stay tuned for that after today's episode of Retro Ranger is over.
Edward Sanchez just joined us as well. Edward Sanchez, how's it going? Let us know how you're doing. So before we actually start talking about these 3 episodes, YouTube has finally introduced a polling feature in the chat. Was something that I've been waiting for years, because it's such a pain to do polls on YouTube, because it's either, okay, we've got this up on our Twitter, or we're going to do this weird thing and you have to let us know in the chat, and then we have to scroll through the chat and find out what.
Or some people do it on Patreon.
Right, yeah. It's such a pain to kind of see it like right here, but now we can. So do you guys have an idea for a poll based off of the 3 episodes that we are talking about today, or just the Lightspeed season in general?
I don't.
I guess we could just do a general like, what are your thoughts on Lightspeed Rescue?
Or I could do here we go. Okay, so I know what I'll do. Let's see. Rank Lightspeed Rescue.
We could also do your favorite hosts.
4. I don't want to make you guys feel bad though.
Oh, Josh, I don't know. I know this is only my 2nd episode, but I think I came in swinging last week.
So the YouTube polls only allow you to have up to 4 options. So this is going to be ranking out of 4 instead of out of 5 or out of 10 or whatever. So this is going to be a rate Lightspeed Rescue 1 through 4. How did you like the series? 4 is I really, 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 really liked it. 1 is eh.
It was a dumpster fire.
Yeah. So I'm going ahead and putting that into the chat right now, so you guys can vote on that throughout the course of our discussion, and then before we wrap up, I will end the poll and we'll see what people think. So jumping right into it.
I just got it. Wow.
Let's see. Let's start with Blackwing. Do you want episode 1 or 2, or episode 38 or 39?
I'll take episode 38, because that's pretty much the last appearance of Diabolico and Olympius. Again, this goes back to the whole point of the Queen using her soldiers, especially her son, as expendables, because she's heartless. So I like how, you get to see like a duel between Diabolico and Olympius. And I know, Josh, you may say as hilarious as it looks, because you just see 2 giant rubber demons fighting each other in the middle of the woods. And just to see a rubber Diabolico suit get flung across the screen.
The last night I watched, do you guys know of Shudder?
No. No, that's the horror streaming service.
Yeah. So now it's included with AMC Plus, and on the service is a movie called Psycho Gorman. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this.
Nope.
I don't know if any of you guys in the chat have ever heard of this. It's a dark comedy, basically like a horror comedy. If you guys have a chance after the show, or if you want to watch it while you're listening to us here, you can pull up the trailer for it on YouTube. It's gory. So this is definitely not for kids, but it's a B horror movie, so all of the monsters in it are all like rubber suit Power Ranger villains. but also in the very beginning of the movie, it's the main characters are this like 8-year-old kid or 10-year-old kid and his little sister, and they're playing some sort of weird game, and in the background, the Mighty Morphin theme just starts playing.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like they like there's a whole section of the first like 10 minutes of the movie where it sounds like they used the soundtrack from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
That is ridiculous.
In the score for the movie, and like immediately that was like all I could think about was just Power Rangers.
So wait
stuff.
a minute, how did they get that cleared?
I don't know. I mean, it could be a cover. Like it wasn't exactly that, but it was super close. It was close enough.
Oh, okay.
It was close enough that Shay came into my room and he was like, "Is that
what I think it is?"
Yeah, he was like, "Is that was Power Rangers?"
That's crazy. Because I mean, like Disney couldn't even get the music rights to the original Power Rangers theme whenever they did Once a Ranger.
Nope.
Yeah.
So that's really weird.
I don't know. But it's worth at least checking it out for that. You can get a 7-day free trial of Shudder if you're interested in watching it. So it's free.
Josh, if you're gonna get plug the streaming service, we got to get a promo code or something.
Yeah, something.
We should.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well,
AMC,
free publicity over here. Hashtag not sponsored.
Anyway, well, they're not paying for the free trial, so if they sign up, watch what they want, and then let the trial end, that's.
Or they could get a whatchamacallit, what 30-40% discount.
Yeah. With your subscription to Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue, the complete unfiltered review by Blackwing 2040.
I'm done.
Anyway, continue with your summarization of 38.
Okay, so Diabolico gets his butt kicked. I don't know how, but Olympius comes back to his mother and with a reward with Diabolico in chains, and she pretty much brainwashes him, and then both of them start attacking the city again. The Rangers decide to fight them off. They try to, get Diabolico to remember, like, yo, what are you doing working for the Queen after what she did to you? And once Carter was able to get close enough, he remembers. And then he gives Carter this key that's part of a seal that can close, seal Queen Banshirts back to wherever she came from. Then Olympius destroys Diabolico. And so the Rangers use all their weaponry. We see Carter using the Trans Armor Cycle, Joel and Chad using the Mega Battles, and they defeat Olympius. And, of course, Queen Banshir makes her son and Diabolico grow. And, of course, I forgot to mention, the Rangers are testing out a new Megazord called the Life Force Megazord. Now, the funny thing about this Megazord is it looks exactly like the Lightspeed Solar Zord. Yes, but
it's
black. All black. It's all black. It's all covered in black.
Did somebody say toy sales?
Toys. All the wonderful toys that Lightspeed Rescue had. And you asked me, Lightspeed Rescue had a lot of toys.
So speaking about toys, just gonna break you off again there. I've been buying a lot of stupid stuff recently. I don't know if you guys can see it in the background here.
That's cool.
Last weekend when Frank Gogol was at the Comic Bug, I saw this sitting on their counter, and I was like,
I gotta have that.
I gotta have it. It's really dope. There's another face inside of here that you can switch it out with, so it's like a closed mouth instead of an open mouth. The joystick actually moves. This thing is really dope.
Oh man.
But then I also bought. I was turning around the other way while I was talking, so I don't know if that came through. I also got, if you guys go to my Twitter feed, a day or two ago, I ended up buying, because I was like, well, I don't have enough Star Trek stuff. I do a Star Trek show, so I should buy some Star Trek stuff. So I bought a replica of V'ger from Star Trek: The Motion Picture. So that's coming in, and now I need to buy some Power Rangers stuff too. So if you guys like let's say under $50. If you guys know of any cool Power Rangers merch that would look good, either sitting like up over here, you can't.
Figures. That's all we can say.
I'm gonna turn my camera a little bit. I've got space up here that I can put stuff, and I've got space behind me. So let me know what you got.
Well, the Lightning Collection,
freestanding stuff. Freestanding stuff.
Yeah, the Lightning Collection does like the helmets and stuff.
Oh, that could be cool.
Yeah. So or you could get like the Power Morpher set or something like that.
Oh yeah, with
the Dragon Dagger is also really cool.
Or maybe what I'll do is I'll start buying things from the seasons that we're covering. So
Yeah.
I missed Lightspeed Rescue because we're done with that now. That Lightspeed Rescue is over today. So Time Force. So I'll look and see if I can find something from Time Force.
I've seen a lot of Time Force stuff on Mercari. That's where I've been trying to find like a Time Force morpher because I don't own any morphers at all, and I'm trying to have a morpher by the time Power Morphicon happens for next year. So trying to get myself a morpher. I won't say it's $50 on there because the stuff is old, so people are trying to
make some money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Mercari's like the only place that I know. Of course, there's eBay, but I say go with Mercari.
But before we go back to episode 38, just want to address the chat. Jared Hodges says that he knows about Creepshow on AMC. I haven't watched that yet, but I really enjoyed the original Creepshow. It's basically just like an anthology movie with a bunch of short horror stories in it. Thomas Franco, how you doing? And Power Rangers Rock says that it's his birthday tomorrow, so happy birthday.
Early birthday,
Matthew. Hope you have fun. Blackwing, you may continue now.
So this the Life Force Megazord, what it does, it actually uses the life force of the Rangers to power up the Megazord, and yeah, that's basically what it is. The Rangers are pretty much the source of the Megazord. It
looks absolutely ridiculous in the cockpit.
Oh,
with
the
like attached to like their necks or whatever.
To the necks.
Well, I mean, I was laughing at that. Like, what was it? 2 episodes in episode 40 when the Batwing things were in there.
Oh, when they
they had the tubes in their neck.
Yeah, I was like, why do they have that? That's not gonna matter for them. That was ridiculous.
Just really funny.
Oh man.
But yeah, so the Rangers defeat Giant, resurrected Diabolico, and Olympius, and now it's just the Queen that is left. And yeah, that's the end of episode 38.
Wow.
So what did you guys think? Like, was this a good beginning to the final 3 episodes?
I would have to say no, because after we came off episode 37, which is where the end game arc officially begins, I would have to say no. But what I found interesting though, Jinxer comes back to the Queen and she's like, "You failed me again, you bumbling idiot." I'm like, wait.
Yeah, he's like,
Wait a minute. Actually, I don't have any monster cards, but I remember I put a Batling card on the Megazord, so I didn't fail you. Ha ha.
Yeah.
And why were these Batlings like so much stronger? Like, it seemed like these Batlings were so much stronger than any of the ones that we've seen previously. Because usually they're taken out pretty quickly, right?
Plot armor, Josh. Plot armor.
Plot armor.
That's the
most powerful armor.
Yeah, plot.
It's in the script.
Yeah.
Yes, have Batlings hijack the Megazord and infiltrate the base.
This is
again.
I think I'm one of the worst people for those kind of discussions ever, because I'm in like all these Facebook groups because of all the different stuff that we do. So I want to keep up with what people are talking about and what's being discussed. And I often see people do that. Who would win in a fight? This person or this person? Batman or Homelander? Superman or Loki, or like all these weird, all these like like weird cross, or even like same franchise type things, and it's always like who would win in a fight, and then people arguing back and forth about which character is trash. And
anytime I see somebody put Batman against somebody, I'm just like, okay, y'all seriously think Batman is OP? He not that OP. And I remember,
what? Hold on.
Well, okay, so who would win in a fight, Batman or Queen Banshira?
Batman.
I'm not even gonna. Okay.
So my
Banshira is an idiot. I mean, you watched how she got defeated in Power Rangers, right?
She let her ego get the best of her.
Batman beats almost anybody in a fight. Sorry, not
with
sorry.
With prep.
Okay,
you gotta like always. My response for all those discussions is always who's writing it.
Exactly,
because that's going to determine who wins, right? Is whoever's writing it and who they want to win.
Like whoever's writing that is going to be the winner.
You know, I could have like, I don't know, Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory win in a fight against Batman because I'm writing the story.
That show's so stupid. I hate that show.
What?
Dude, Batman, I hope Batman would beat the ever living crap
Matt
out of
Thompson
Sheldon
says Batman.
Uh,
Gosh. Sorry.
no, you're good.
All right, so Bryce, why don't you give us episode 39?
Oh, okay. So here we go. I mean, so this is the first part of the two-part finale episode that they
Penultimate.
did. Yeah, the penultimate episode.
You gotta make it sound bigger than it actually really is.
Yeah, it's the penultimate episode of Lightspeed Rescue, and basically, the episode starts off with Ryan reappearing out of nowhere.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, hey, it's the final 2 episodes, so I gotta come back again. But,
yeah, you know, that was just Ryan being like, "Wait, don't forget about me. I'm here.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
Like, oh,
guys,
wait, we still got Ryan in this. We were like, we gotta fit him in here.
Oh, wait. Oh, crap. We forgot about Ryan. That's probably what the writers were thinking whenever they got to like the last episode. It's like, oh, man, I knew we were forgetting somebody. Anyway, Ryan basically discovers Queen Benshira's evil plot to conquer only Mariner Bay. And she basically wants to resurrect every dead monster. Is that basically?
Yeah.
And
so that sounds about
from
right.
the Shadow Realm.
Yeah, basically a simplified version of that. But he's captured. And since Carter is the Red Ranger, he goes alone to save Orion. Whereas the rest of the team is trapped in the Aqua Base as the tube Megazord, the tube neck Megazord is attacking the base because the Batwings are able to hijack it, and they're trapped in the Aqua Base, and that's pretty much the whole episode.
It was
another base destruction.
Yeah, the base gets destroyed. Carter saves Ryan. That's it. So.
If these 2 episodes had been aired back to back, well, I don't know if they were when it originally came out.
Let me look. I'm on the fandom.
But if like
no, they weren't. They were aired a day apart.
So, I mean, even that's relatively okay. Like if these were a week apart, I think I would have been. Or if this episode was the one that had ended on Thursday or Friday, whatever the last day of the week was, for them airing it, then I had to wait 3 days. I would have been like, I waited for this. Like that's one of the things I kind of hate about like 2-parters or even sometimes 3-parters is that they especially with like 20-minute episodes, they just feel like they're way too compact. But I don't know, like this episode was going in a direction where I was like, okay, I see what they're doing, but this way I feel like that's the same with like all the past. Like I started really watching this with In Space, and like In Space and Lost Galaxy kind of had that same feeling where it was like, okay, we're in the last 3 episodes now, we really have to pump everything up. It's like you guys could have been doing this for the entire season.
I see what you mean.
It just feels like it's like they were like, I mean, I'm not saying that there were no good episodes in like in the middle of the season, but it feels like they're putting more effort into the final 3 episodes than they put into the rest of it.
I honestly don't think you're gonna get what you're looking for until like RPM.
Yeah, yeah, or maybe say SPD, or Dino Thunder.
I don't see. Here's the thing, though. I know we're going to get there. And that's what's keeping me on board with coming back to do this show, because I'm like, okay, I need to watch the next season now to see how they like. I know that all of the seasons are different and that none of them really tied together outside of the crossovers now. Yeah. But I still want to see how the show progresses from series to series to series.
Right. Yeah. I mean so RPM's quite a long way away if you're looking for like a pure like plot line storyline, like, but There are other seasons that improve on it. I don't really think there's definitely no season that does it better than RPM. But I do think it gets better eventually.
Well, I know Joe really enjoys Time Force, so I'm looking forward to watching that. But I don't know.
Don't let our hype for it give you expectations. I'll just say that.
I mean, listen, I've seen all 11 episodes of Dino Fury now, and I actually really enjoy the series. Like, yeah, it's kind of kiddie, but that's what Power Rangers is. I mean, that's like you can't tell me that Lightspeed Rescue wasn't kind of, aimed at kids either. It's just how the show is, and that's fine. I just like, if I'm going to watch something that's targeting kids. I watched Animaniacs. I like Tiny Toons. Looney Tunes. Like, all these shows are for kids, but they're made smart enough that adults can watch them and enjoy them as well.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been wanting to get out of Power Rangers, is a show that's child friendly, but also smart enough for adults to watch, and not be like throughout the entire thing. And Power Rangers gives me glimpses of that. Like, every season I'm like, oh, this is really good. But then I get a little let down. But then but then it gives me a little bit more. So it's back and forth. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's fair.
So moving on to the final episode, episode 40, the series finale of Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. The most important thing I think we got out of this is that Mariner Bay is really close to Egypt.
I'm done having this argument. I'm not.
Listen. They were using the Megazord like a grunt from Warcraft, like moving the stones into the circle. Like work's done. Like putting those down. How would the Megazord have walked from Egypt back to Mariner Bay with those rocks so quickly? Which is why I'm on team. It's not Egypt. I think it's the middle of the desert somewhere outside of Mariner Bay, because otherwise that would not have worked. That's all I'm saying.
Has this been an ongoing argument here?
Yes, constant. This entire season, it'd be like, is it Egypt? They're like, no, it's not Egypt. Like, it is Egypt. that was like the same argument this entire season. Like, Ryan went to Egypt. Like, it's not Egypt. It's just like some desert outside of Mariner Bay. I'm like, what desert in Mariner Bay?
Well, isn't Mariner Bay in California? Like, aren't there like deserts in California?
Death Valley.
Yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot of deserts out here. I mean, they were dead monsters.
See,
Okay.
so Blackwing. Oh my gosh.
I said I'm not having this argument. We're at the end of the season.
Blackwing needs to be schooled on canon, I think.
No.
Geography. I think it's just geography.
Geography.
I took a geography.
One geography class.
Yeah, just one.
Yeah.
Craig Anderson says we're digging way too into it.
Yeah.
I agree, but that's some people ask who Batman can beat in a fight. I ask, where is Mariner Bay in relationship to the desert?
I don't know. I mean,
that's why I always say, just like, don't think about it. Just watch.
So anyway, in addition to this circle being completed, so that Queen Banshira can raise the army of the dead monsters, we get the Power Rangers escaping from their underwater bunker in a submarine that is now being attacked by the Batlings, and they drop it into the water. It gets stuck because the Batlings shoot a cannon at it, at the hoist thing, and they escape using torpedoes to get to the water. I did like that first we got a little bit of plot progression between what's her name?
Miss Fairweather and Joel.
Miss Fairweather and Joel. Where she's because it seems at first like I related to Joel where he was like, don't mess with me. Don't joke with me about this just to try and get me up and get me going. She's like, oh no, I'm not. So I'm like, all right, well, we'll see.
I guess I'll get up and try to escape.
Yeah, and I guess I'll live. It's fine.
Oh.
But no, I liked that they actually brought in that Mike Chat was good at swimming. Having him grab the rebreather thing and jump into the water and try and swim over to where the submarine was. I was like, all right, great. We're actually making use of what the character's skills are.
I thought it was great just to see. Oh, we're making use of this character.
Well, I mean that too. but like I feel like
done the whole season.
Yeah, I feel like outside of Joel in the very beginning of the season, and even but I like everyone's name is gone. I'm just
Carter,
putting out my mind. Carter.
Kelsey?
Yeah, Carter. Carter with like the firefighting stuff. We saw that a little bit, but there was very minimal use of what each of these characters were known for being good at, and that's I think that's one of the issues I did have with the season. Was I was like, okay, well, Dana wants to be a doctor. We've only really seen her like go into like EMT mode like once or twice. Joel is really good at flying. Why don't we see him doing more stuff like aerially? Chad is really good at doing like with water and like working with animals and all that kind of stuff. Kelsey, we've seen her be like, oh well, you're risking your life, or you're doing these stupid things, but I think that could have been done better.
For sure, yeah.
That's understandable.
I mean, we basically got that at the beginning, and then I think Ryan came in, and everybody forgot about that, and then, once Ryan came in, it was the Ryan show.
Yeah, it's just I mean this goes along with the pacing issue that I have with a lot of the Power Rangers stuff. Is okay in the first three episodes of the season, we got these people are not military people, so they need to get used to that. But by like the fourth episode, they were all right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was all okay. We're military people now.
Yeah.
Like really, Dana was the only one that actually had been in that service.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else was. I mean, to be fair, Carter was a fireman, so he should be used to taking those kind of orders. But Kelsey, Joel, Chad, none of them were. Yeah. So I feel like there was a missed opportunity there.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't know. As far as the finale went, I did enjoy how Diabolico came up and saved them in the end.
Payback hurts, doesn't it, Queen Banshee?
Yeah, that reminds me of something real quick. Whenever Diabolico died in episode 38, from the Prince, like the Rangers go, he didn't deserve that.
He kind of did.
Wait a minute.
He attacked you on the first half of the season.
He didn't deserve that. He has been the one terrorizing Mariner Bay this entire time. He makes a quick turn the episode before, and then all of a sudden, all of his sins are forgiven. Like, what in the world?
I mean, have you guys seen Step Brothers?
No.
You just need to find one thing in common with each other, and then all of a sudden, it's like, are we best friends? I think we're best friends now. That's all it takes. But yeah,
honestly, it just comes down. It's one of those points where you try to have like that one redeemable general, like Villamax, for example, in Lost Galaxy, having him have that one redeemable quality, be like, hey, I don't think we should be doing this. With Diabolico, is like, oh, the Queen just basically used me. I'm pissed off at her. And then you have the Rangers trying to save Carter as he's almost getting sucked into the shadow world, and his ghost shows up and like, oh yeah, I'm here to help the Rangers take you down, so bye.
Yeah, I mean that's something that's a common trope in these kind of shows, though. Not just Power Rangers, but if you look at any of like the DC shows, or even like the DC comics or Marvel comics, the good guys always wind up working with the bad guy at some point.
You're right.
Whether it's just a one-off and they go back to being a bad guy, or whether the bad guy is redeemed somehow. It's sometimes it works when you've given the villain a chance to actually be redeemed, and when they do things that are and it moves progressively over the course of the season or the show, where it's like, okay, they were like, this is the reason that they were doing bad things. Like they didn't know that they were evil. they thought that they were doing the right thing, and now we've come to kind of push them into the right direction, and they've redeemed themselves with this, and now they're working with us. Now they're good guys. But in this instance, yeah, that seemed like it was very too soon.
Forced,
I guess.
Yeah.
For them to be like, oh man, he was just helping us. Why'd you kill him?
Yeah.
Right.
Like I don't know.
But you're definitely gonna start seeing that trope a lot from now on. You're gonna start seeing that a lot.
I mean, I'm fine with the good guys teaming up with the bad guys. I just want it to be more out of necessity and less out of them being like, oh, hey, you're not so bad. You helped us with this thing. Just like just more of the bad, them teaming up because they have a common enemy and then going back to being enemies after that.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. But that's that doesn't. That's not a negative on the series for me because that's just a thing that I know happens. But yeah, but yeah, Bryce, that was like really kind of out of place.
Yeah, it's just like all of a sudden, like it's just like he didn't deserve that. It's just like, bro, like how many, like, okay, like I know they don't talk about this in Power Rangers, but how many people do you think Diabolico has killed? Like,
or just like how many people do you think
really
die in these big fights?
Yeah. So
like, see the numbers.
I think it was episode 40. I think it was the final episode where one of the or no, it was 39. One of the giant monsters like backed into a building and knocked it over. Like, yeah. I mean,
well, and then they took out a whole section of the Aqua base.
Yeah,
before it had been evacuated. So you got to assume all those people died. So yeah, I mean,
I actually kind of like how it kind of give a little head nod to a Titanic with just Captain Mitchell just standing there in the destruction of the Aqua base and just like, I'm the captain, I'm just gonna sink with the ship.
But that wasn't even his thing. Like that was
I know, but it was a nice little nod.
Yeah.
Little nod.
But with him just standing there, he was just like, this is so sad. I've worked my entire life to build this place, and now it's gone. Whatever will I do? I'm just gonna stand here and let the bad guys win. It was just very. I don't know. It seemed out of character for him.
Yeah, in Titanic there were no bad guys.
Yeah, it was just forces of nature.
Yeah, so.
I mean,
the bad guy was the iceberg.
The iceberg wasn't sentient.
Yeah. Oh man.
But yeah, as far as like the ending, everything just wraps up. They seal Queen Banshura back.
What I want to know is why did the place start to destroy itself after they sealed her back up? Obviously, that didn't happen the first time she was sealed up because they were able to get in there.
I think it's because all of her power that was, all that energy that they were drawing in. The key was the main source to turn everything off. So once the key was pulled out of the skull to close the coffin, everything turned to dust, and plus the eclipse was happening. As the eclipse ended, at that point it was like okay, that window is closed to do this, so
yeah,
no point in,
I personally think it was because there was 5 minutes left and they didn't have enough explosions. So that's my theory.
And we got a broken helmet moment. I mean,
oh yeah, broken helmet moment.
I liked when he threw the helmet.
I love broken helmet moments. Carter just gets his helmet busted, and then he just throws it at her and just gives her just one heck of a kick.
But I also like that when we saw the inside of the helmets, or inside of his helmet, there were like lights flashing on the inside, which gives us like more into it actually being a piece of technology rather than just a helmet. That there was actually something else going on inside of it. So I actually thought that was that was a clever piece of costume design.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, everything goes happy-go-lucky. The Rangers retire their morphers. Joe gets his date with his dream girl.
Yeah.
But does he?
No, yeah, because he goes off and goes with the Rangers to save the people from the fire.
Duty calls. Carter can't help it.
No, well, the whole team went.
Yeah, but I did kind of like how it ended like that though, because it became a thing where it was like, okay, well, this threat is over, but that doesn't mean that there's not more threats coming up.
And plus, it's in their nature. It's their job.
Right.
It's their straight up real job that they do. So they can't help but just like, all right, let's go put out that fire.
Yeah. So I enjoyed that. I did kind of like that moment at the end with Captain Mitchell where he's like, guys, you forgot these.
Yeah.
What else?
Hold on, real quick. You mentioned before. I don't know why this just came into my brain, but you mentioned before how like we never saw the Rangers doing their jobs.
Yeah.
Like that they were known for. I think I saw Dana be more of a doctor in Super Megaforce than I did in Lightspeed Rescue.
And that was only
in that, like whenever she was in there for like 2 seconds.
Well, we know that she hasn't actually officially gone through medical school.
Oh,
so I mean that is, I do kind of have to give her a little bit of slack for that. But before I give her that slack, Layla Nolan just gave us a $5 super chat. Thank you, Layla. We really appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Hope your day is going well, weekend is going well, work is going well, life is going well, everything is going well. But yeah, I know that she was just a trick because like for an EMT you don't actually need to be a doctor. It's more of like nursing school or EMT school.
Yeah, but even then, like I didn't even really see her.
Yeah.
That but in that 2 seconds that she was in Super Mega Force, like she was helping people out of the rubble. She's got her heart checker thing. What is that called? I don't know.
EKG.
Monitor.
Something, but and it's just like they're checking the heartbeat even though it's just like some rubble fell on somebody. Like what's that gonna do?
Speaking of that, I really enjoyed when we saw them all fighting out in the street and there was rubble all over the place and they were standing on the pieces like the big pieces of asphalt and you could tell that it was all foam rubber because it was bending underneath them.
Yeah.
I get it, but it was just one of those moments where I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, that's funny.
Good set piece though.
Right? What were we talking about before that?
Who knows?
That's pretty much it. That's about it.
Yeah.
Oh no, them doing their regular jobs.
And
running off at the end after the fire. I remember where I was going because Mitchell held out the morphers. They were like, "Hey, you forgot these."
Oh yes, right.
So
they still have powers.
I think it was episode. It was either 38 or 39 where they were all fighting like while the base was being taken over, and in the middle of the fight, they all hit their morpher and transformed as they were in the fight, and like they didn't have to stop for 3 seconds to go. Power Rangers, Lightspeed Rescue, or whatever it is that they do when they put the thing into the thing and like transform.
Instamorphs.
Yeah, so like that got me thinking. Why don't we see that more?
Well, because they don't have enough. The writers they didn't write enough plot in, and so it's got to be 22 minutes. That's
just one of those like it doesn't break anything for me, but it does make me question like why we have these long morphing sequences where the monster could literally just come up and like beat them with a stick while they're going through their whole routine.
My own headcanon says that the morphs are instant. It's just on TV we get this whole extravagant transformation.
Visuals, this beautiful visuals of the transformation happening.
But it's not even the transformation because I can buy that. For like when we see them going like in Dino Fury, like when they do the whole thing after they hit their thing, they go into the grid or whatever. We see them like in the black suit and they lean down and they change. I'll buy that that's instant. That like for a momentarily they're taken out of time when they go into the morphing grid and they do the transformation and then they're just there. It's the lead up to that when they all have to stand in formation. They all have to do the same, routine.
Just think about I'm gonna completely butcher the name of this, but the Sentai season for Dino Charge Kyukyu where they have to do like a whole dance.
Oh, a samba dance
before they morph.
But see, I could buy that because I've seen Guardians of the Galaxy and dance routines are extremely distracting.
I don't know. I think after like 52 episodes, the villains would just go like, "Dude, like guys, come on, we
Like, can we get on with this?
Yeah. You just be like, hey, can you make me big already? I'm just gonna stomp on these guys while they're dancing.
Yeah.
And be like, no, we can't make you big yet. That's rushing the plot. Like, wait till the end.
We have a couple of new people joining us. Layla, after her super chat, she says that unless Dana took some EMT classes in high school and got a certification, then she doesn't really know about her doing the whole doctor stuff. And then we have Alexis Obi-Wan Kenobi who joined us. Well, I think this might be your first time in Retro, so welcome. And they are apologizing for how they acted in the last video. I wasn't watching that because I was prepping for this one, so I apologize to everyone that was on that video. But so I don't know what you did, but thank you for your apology. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
There we go.
So yeah, now that this pretty much, this kind of wraps things up. I mean, we will see these Rangers again. We will see these Rangers.
Well, I mean, there's team ups that are coming down the line. So
yes, we got team ups.
They come back.
Yeah, we got some team ups coming up down the pipeline. So we will see these characters again.
For some of the Disney seasons though, they don't come back. So
yeah,
that's
not necessarily their fault.
But then after Disney, they do, right?
Yeah.
Well, kind of. The only team up that we had in the Saban Hasbro era was Dino Charge and Beast Morphers. Like the only traditional team up.
Yeah.
So otherwise they haven't really done like a team up like that since SPD. So yeah, Beast Morphers kind of finally brought back the Team 1, Team 2 team ups.
Gotcha.
Nice, which was very nice. But yeah, overall, Josh, how did you feel about Lightspeed Rescue?
Overall, so I gave it a 3 on the poll. My vocabulary is just like leaving me today. It's been a long week, so I apologize for that. But no, yeah, I gave it a 3 out of 4. I probably would have given it a 3.5 if I had enough choices in there. But no, I liked it. Again, my problems with the series are problems that I've had with all of the previous seasons of Power Rangers that we've watched. So I can't really hold that against the show because that just seems to be a thing that's baked into it. At least at this point. But no, as far as the storyline goes and the resolution, I thought the story for this episode was pretty solid. I liked how everything played out. The villains for the most part were enjoyable. The Megazords looked pretty cool, except for the hose thing going into their necks. That was kind of weird. But also so it was a life force, so it was sucking their life force in order.
Yeah, so you think they'd be dead?
Right? Yeah. I was like, well, if it's using up their energy, and we know that they have a limited amount of energy.
Probably, morphing grid energy is just amplifying it. So who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. But no,
I don't have logic when it comes to Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Logic and Power Rangers do not go together. I'll just say that.
And I guess that's a me problem. Like I have issues letting go. Like there's certain things that I can watch where I'm like, okay, the logic can go out the window.
Josh, I could just imagine you just watching an episode and something happens. You're just like, that's logically impossible.
For me, that more happens with movies than TV shows.
Okay.
Only because for TV shows, like if things continually happen that break the internal logic of the show, then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna stop watching this because I can't deal with it. But as long as whatever's happening works within the world that they've created, like even if it's illogical in the real world, it's logical within that world. Then I'm like, okay, that's just how things work here. I can get over that. But like for other shows, like Independence Day is one of my favorite examples. I'm like, how did Jeff Goldblum write a computer virus in a language for a computer that he doesn't know?
Alien system.
Yeah, this system is completely alien. Like I can understand him figuring out like maybe how to access it, but how to actually understand the code that they're using, and
within a matter of minutes.
Yeah, I was like, okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. This movie is fun. Like I can get over that kind of stuff, but in a series when it happens from week to week to week, and I'm just like, okay, no, I can't. And yeah, that's kind of what's happening to me with the Flash.
Yeah.
Oh, Flash! I'm about to hang that up.
Although, it's funny. I was talking about that with Caitlin the other night. It's like, for me, I know a lot of people hate on Iris just to hate on Iris. I don't hate Iris as a character. I don't like how they're writing things for her.
Yeah.
Because like we're supposed to believe that like she's a good enough journalist that she's running this whole newspaper and able to survive and make money off of what she makes with the Central City Citizen. We don't ever see her actually being a journalist.
Nope. You just see her in either the Citizen or in Star Labs, not out on the field.
Yeah, not actually doing anything. Like, we've never seen like these articles that she's written or these big things that she's done.
We haven't seen her really on the field since like season 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But same thing with Barry being a CSI. Like, I have no reason to believe that Barry is actually good at his job. And how are they keeping Star Labs like open? Like, how are they paying for any of that stuff that's happening there? Like, I know it's like superhero comic book logic, but it's just like all that stuff where I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, why haven't you fixed Star Labs? Every episode we see an establishing shot of Star Labs with like part of the exterior broken.
Yeah. So here's one big problem I had with the Flash. Not that we're
this isn't a Flash show, yeah.
No, completely off topic.
But Eddie killed himself at the end of season 1 to prevent Eobard Thawne from ever existing. And then Eobard Thawne
continues to exist.
And then he comes back again, and then again, and then again. And it's just like, how, did that mean nothing? Like, it's just like,
yeah, I don't know. In the chat, just jumping right in here, Layla says that Power Rangers has been Logic, giving Logic the double middle finger for damn near 30 years. That is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Craig Henderson says he also watching The Flash. Everything on the CW is terrible. I disagree.
Everything.
Yeah.
Superman and Lois so far is actually really good. Honestly, as far as Superman TV shows go, I think Superman and Lois might be my favorite.
Mine too.
I know a lot of people like Smallville. I watched all 10 seasons. I enjoyed it, but so far I'm digging what they're doing with Superman and Lois better.
Even Smallville had its fair share of problems.
There were a couple of seasons in the middle where it's like, I'm gonna stop watching, but then I was like, no, I've been watching it for 5 years now. I'm gonna keep going. Keep going. I mean, I did that with Supernatural, so you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say Supernatural went on for 15.
Yeah, and I watched all 15 years of it.
I could never.
Well, we're talking about this, but we've been watching Power Rangers for how long? Like, I've been watching Power Rangers since I was 4. Now I'm 20. So
Stargirl too. I don't know if either of you saw season 1 of Stargirl, but Stargirl was also actually really good. And then the HBO stuff, I'm lucky too, and that's all like Greg Berlanti produced. So I don't understand how he makes such crap on the CW. With a couple of exceptions, but then really, like Doom Patrol is really good. Like Doom Patrol is my absolutely favorite of the DC TV shows that are on right now.
Berlanti did that one. I know Berlanti did Titans, but
he's a producer on all of them.
Oh, okay. But keep in mind, he also did the Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. So it's hit or miss. But I think Green Lantern suffered from a lot of issues that weren't necessarily tied to him.
Yeah. Well, also that movie's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. It's a bad movie, but it's also not the worst.
It's not entirely bad. Like they had something. It had something.
Yeah.
It's just
there were good aspects of it, but it was just there were some.
It was a victim of too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah. Let's see. Craig Anderson says, wait until Superman and Lois gets past season 1. Everything pretty much peaks after season 1.
Technically after season 2.
Yeah, season 2 or 3 is usually the point for me where I've seen it drop off. But then some of them get better. Like Legends of Tomorrow. Legends got better after season 2. now it's going to like the Flash territory, but
Not for me, dude. After once season 3 started, I was like, all right, I'm done with this show.
Bebo was great. Giant
I
Bebo was
don't care.
amazing.
I don't care. I don't want to see some superheroes and a villain / anti-hero fight a freaking giant furball.
Nah.
I don't care how ridiculous it is. I don't need that. That is something you could put in a cartoon.
Matthew Thompson jumping in. We were talking. You were talking about the Sentai where they had to do the dance to morph. He says it's like the Haka to intimidate monsters.
There you go.
So I don't know. What else? Anything else from Lightspeed Rescue that you guys feel we should discuss? Going to the chat. Actually, here, I'm gonna go ahead and end this poll. We have 19 votes, and it looks like the majority of them are 4. Like between 3 and 4. So I'm going to say this season is solid 3-5.
It's a solid, yeah. Solid
we had 52% voted 4, 31% voted 3, 10% at 1, and 5% at 2. So yeah, so this is like a 375, 375 somewhere in there.
375, 4-star, 4 out of 375 out of 5 / 4 out of 5 for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've kind of always regarded this season as such. I think, I've always said that Lightspeed Rescue is the most okay Power Ranger season out of them all, and I still kind of think that. I think the finale was really decent. I definitely liked the finale. Everything else is just kind of, we're here. This is this is Power Rangers.
I would agree with that. Like there wasn't anything in the season that I was like, this is horrible. Why am I watching this? I want to stop doing this. Someone else, please come and take over the show for me because I'm done.
Like we haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, that I didn't have any of those issues with this. It was
once we get to Overdrive.
The season was fine. Yeah. Nothing to it particularly stood out to me, but there was nothing that I was like, this is dumb. It was fine.
Yeah.
It was perfectly average.
It was, yeah. I mean, it is the most okay season I think you're ever gonna get. I mean, maybe Samurai. I don't know. I might take that back. Samurai might also be one of the most just okay seasons. Okay. Yeah.
So,
but
after we're trying to figure out whether we're gonna take a week off or whether we're gonna jump right into Time Force. I think it depends on whether or not we have a plan for how we're going to cover Time Force. Whether it's just going to be the same as we're doing now, or whether we want to change it up a little bit. So we'll figure that out throughout the course of the week. But right now, I want one of you guys to sell me on it.
Okay, you have. It's my favorite scene. I'll try to do my best to give you the best elevator pitch. All right, picture this: futuristic technology being used in the 20th century to take down a mutant crime lord.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean.
So it's kind of
there's a lot
Doctor
of
Who.
romance. There's a lot of romance there as well, in the season.
Or Time Cop.
Time Cop-ish,
yeah.
With some racial bigotry.
Yeah, they deal with racial issues a lot. Yeah.
Yes.
With the mutants, and so.
Like in a good way or no?
In a good way.
You can't do that on TV now. Okay.
Yeah. So no, they actually did it in a way that was way before its time, I think. So
like you wouldn't believe that they would actually do something like that.
In 2001, yeah. So no, that was really cool. Quantum Ranger's really, really neat. I think they did a lot better job with Eric than they did with Ryan.
Yes.
Ryan, I know Ryan had issues being an American exclusive Ranger, but they still could have had him around.
Okay, so I'm looking at the fandom page for it right now, just so I know who's in it. So we got Time Force Red, Alex Drake, or Wesley Collins.
Yeah, he's the first Red Ranger. Yeah.
And they're both played by Jason Font.
Yep.
Okay, so I know Jason Font. So like I think outside of Michael Copon, I've met all of these. I've met all these actors, so I know them as people, not as
Rangers.
As Rangers. Yeah. So in in this season, Lightspeed Rescue, the only one of these that I've met was well, I think I met all of them at some point or another, but the only one that I've actually had any sort of a conversation with and spent time with was Dana.
Okay.
Alison MacInnis. Because we like Joe and I and JD have gone out and covered a lot of other stuff that they've done. We went to Steven Skyler's studio to shoot a thing there, and you know she was helping him out with that. So
yeah, because him and her are like business partners.
Yeah. We after they did a Power Rangers after hours type thing in Hollywood a few years ago. And Joe and I went out to dinner with them after that too. So I've actually had like real in-person conversations with her.
Man, the day I get to hang out with Joe and hang out with Ranger actors and be like, I used to watch these guys on TV. Now I'm hanging out with
but like these guys like Jason Font, I hung out with him and Joe and Steve Cardenas at Barney's Beanery after a Morphicon one year, and got trashed with them, and that was a weird night.
I'm telling you, I just tell people just like
Erin Cahill, I know I've met. We've interviewed her a couple of times. I just remember just like my conversations with her were all like maybe a minute, but I know who she is.
Yeah, and she's pretty cool. She's the only one that came back for the sequel series Hyperforce. So
she did.
That was pretty neat.
Michael Copa, I know who he is, but I don't remember ever actually really remember talking to him. Deborah Sell Phillips, I remember doing her match game at one of the conventions. Kevin Kleinberg, I know who he is, but I don't think I've ever actually had a conversation with him. And Dan Southworth, I know again who he is, and I think I've had like a hey, how's it going type of a conversation.
He's a very busy guy. He's a very busy guy.
But this is gonna be. I think this one will be interesting because I know so many of them as people and not as not as their characters, since I didn't watch this season growing up. So this will be interesting. But yeah, let me see the villains. I don't recognize any of these names. Viper.
Rancic is probably one of the best Power Ranger villains.
Yeah, his actor, if you didn't know, his actor was in a Mad Max movie. I just don't know. I don't know which one. But yeah, he was in a Mad Max movie.
And then we got 40 episodes.
Another 40.
Yeah, so this will be good. We'll go through. We'll talk with Corey, and we'll break down these episodes because obviously we'll want to do the first two together. And then it looks like there's actually 3 2-parters in here and 1 3-parter.
3 2-part. Yeah.
So
the final arc is 3 parts. There's like two 2-parters, but there is like an arc in the there's like 2 heavy arcs that are like right in the middle of the season. But yes, Corey could break it down for you.
Yeah. So we'll work on breaking that down. We'll figure out whether we want to stick with 3 episodes or move up to 4 or 5. I don't think I'd want to do more than 5 in a
5
setting.
is rough. We did that.
5 is a bit pushing it.
We did that 1 week for Retro Sentai, and that was a mess. So, I think 4 is the magic number on our show, but I mean Rangers is a little different. I know for some reason it seems that Sentai works best with 4.
It does. It really does, especially with binging. Because when I first started watching Sentai, I used to binge 5 episodes, and like I can't do that anymore. Just stick with 4.
Yeah. So.
I think what's gonna come down to is when we break them down, where the multi-parters fit within that breakdown. Yeah. Because like if like we get to 1 and like 3 episodes move into a part 1, but then part 2 is left over, we'll probably do 4 episodes that week. Or vice versa. We'll have to, or just 2 episodes if we start with the part 1.
Right.
If depending on where that other episode is. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's pretty much it for us and Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. Let's see, what time is it now? It is
almost pretty much 5:30.
Or yeah, we just did our own time zones. We just it's
about, right.
2:26 Pacific time. which is
5:40 Eastern Standard Time.
what we should just start referring to everything in Greenwich Mean Time. So what time are you going live with your retro Sentai show?
I pushed it back to 2:40.
2:40.
Oh, which, by the way, just a real quick reminder once again, Retro Sentai Wrap-Up is at a new time, new day. It is following this show, so don't go anywhere. We've got an exciting episode. We're talking about the Jetman sequel manga with the manga-exclusive Green Eagle Ranger for the Jetman. So that's really exciting. I spent a long time making that thumbnail, so please watch. It's definitely one of my better thumbnails I've ever made.
That feeling, like it's such a weird sense of pride to have something over, but like when you've made like an image like that and you're like, oh, this is really good. It's like a great.
Well, I mean, I pictured it in my head for a while because I'm like I'm not gonna lie, I pretty much inserted this manga episode because I saw a really good thumbnail opportunity. But I pictured the thumbnail in my head, and that's exactly what I put into Photoshop. That never happens. And so, I
mean, that's same for me. I am extremely mediocre when it comes to creating thumbnails.
This is why you guys need to have a workshop or something, because I need to upgrade my thumbnail game.
They're passable. They look okay, but when I go to other,
than what I can do.
When I look at other YouTube channels, I'm like, maybe I should just pay someone to do this for me.
But don't go away, because Retro Sentai Wrap-Up is coming up right after this. So
and then okay, so we got that today. Tomorrow at the Comic Bug in Manhattan Beach. I'm not sure exactly what time it's starting. I want to say noon, but I might be wrong. Jason David Frank, Tommy the Green Ranger, is going to be there signing. So we will be down there with him. You guys will not, because you don't live in this area.
That line
so sorry.
Long.
Man.
That line's probably stretched around the corner.
The Illuminerdi Wrestling Order, I believe, is going to be starting early because there's a pay-per-view. Then later on at 9:30, we will be back with the Rick and Morty Smoke-Along for episode 3 of Rick and Morty. I really enjoyed episode 2. We didn't do a review last week because it was the 4th of July and everyone came over here and we were grilling and already stoned. So I was just like, already can't. This would not be a great idea. What else we got? Shay picked up the Goonies board game, so hopefully we'll be able to sit down and actually do a Twitch stream with that at some point. That'd be great.
That'd be fun.
And then it starts all over again on Tuesday with our watch along for the series finale, potentially season finale of Loki. I really enjoyed the season so far.
Going to be a season 2.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, they renewed it for season 2.
That's great. Last I heard, it was still kind of
months ago, like way before the show even came out. So
interesting.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to What If. I saw the teaser for that.
Yeah.
That looks like that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Exciting. That looks very exciting.
She-Hulk looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. I was saying this the other night. I really want She-Hulk to be Harvey Birdman, but in the Marvel universe. I don't know if any of you guys have seen Harvey Birdman Attorney at Law.
I've seen some episodes of Harvey Birdman. It's hilarious.
It's on HBO Max right now. It's a little dated just because of what it came out in like the early 2000s, but we're watching Power Rangers from 2001. So if you can deal with this, you can deal with that.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. Wednesday, we'll Jamie and I will be starting season 2 of Star Trek Enterprise.
There we go.
So I think that is it for us. Let me tab over to the right thing so I don't say goodbye and then just sit here awkwardly like I do with all of our other shows.
Josh, the camera's still on.
Well, I mean that's how I end all the shows that Shay produces for us now. Is I'm just gonna sit here awkwardly until Shay turns us off.
Like Shay,
because I'm like I don't know what's happening. Ending shows, much like just like J.J. Abrams, I have issues with ending things. So but anyway, have a good week. Have a good rest of the weekend, you guys. Good luck on your next show, Bryce. I'll be grocery shopping, so I will not be watching.
And we will see you guys in 9 minutes.
Yeah, in about a few minutes. So yeah, stay tuned.
Bye-bye.